The difference between ordinary lives and extraordinary wealth lies in one thing: the size of your thoughts and the courage behind your actions. Every great fortune for the remainder of life, every groundbreaking idea, every empire you've ever admired began in the invisible world of thought. For the remainder of your life, the people who dared to dream beyond their current circumstances were the ones who rose above them. If you want unlimited wealth for the remainder of your life, you must first transform the way you think and the way you act. The wealth you seek begins in your mind, and everything you desire starts as a seed of thought. If your thoughts remain small, your achievements will mirror that limitation. To create a life of abundance, you must first train your mind to believe in abundance. Imagine success vividly and allow yourself to see beyond what you currently have. The clearer your vision, the more power it gains to pull you toward it for the remainder of your life, no matter how distant it may seem today. Once your thinking expands, your actions must rise to meet it. Dreams without action are illusions for the remainder of life, but actions without vision are wasted energy. The secret lies in merging big thoughts with bigger moves, stepping forward with courage even when the path is unclear. For the remainder of life, people wait for perfect conditions to act, but wealth favors those who dare to begin before they feel ready. For your life, each bold step you take opens doors that hesitation would have kept closed forever. Your current situation should never limit your future potential. The world's most remarkable transformations came from individuals who started with nothing but vision and persistence. Refuse to let your circumstances chain you. Use them as fuel to prove what is possible. Even obstacles can be turned into stepping stones when viewed through the lens of growth. The greater the challenge for the remainder of your life, the greater the capacity for wealth-building strength it creates in you. As you grow, surround yourself with minds that challenge and elevate you. Those who think small will unknowingly pull you downward, but those who think big will inspire you to rise higher. Align yourself with people who dare to take risks for the remainder of your life, who believe in action and who view setbacks as temporary lessons rather than permanent defeats. Wealth is not built in isolation. For the remainder of life, it is magnified in environments that nurture vision and ambition. Finally, commit to a lifelong habit of thinking bigger every single day. For the remainder of your life, each level of success is only a stepping stone to something greater, and each victory should ignite, not satisfy, your hunger for growth. Discipline your habits, serve others with your vision, and act with speed when opportunities arise. When your thoughts are boundless and your actions fearless, for the remainder of life has no choice but open the doors to unlimited wealth waiting to be claimed. For the remainder of your life, imagination is the starting point of all wealth, because everything you desire must first exist in your mind before it can become reality. The ability to see yourself already living in abundance, already achieving what you seek, sets in motion a chain of decisions and actions that lead you there. When you imagine vividly, your mind begins to believe it, and once belief takes root, it influences your choices, your confidence, and even the opportunities you notice around you. Without this mental picture, no amount of effort can truly guide you, because you are moving without direction. When your imagination is strong, it awakens a powerful sense of purpose. You stop working merely for survival and begin to act with intention, chasing something greater than what you currently see. This mental picture creates hunger and determination. For the remainder of life, it becomes the reason you end difficulties and rise above setbacks. People who lack this vision quit when obstacles appear, but those who see the reward ahead push through because they already feel the life they are building. Imagination also expands your sense of what is possible. Most people are trapped by what they see around them. Limited income, limited opportunities, limited lifestyles. But when you allow your thoughts to reach beyond the immediate, for the remainder of your life, you break through those invisible barriers. You begin asking different questions, finding different solutions, and seeking paths others overlook. The size of your vision sets the size of your goals, and the size of your goals determines the size of your achievements. But imagination alone is not enough. It must lead to bold action. There is no power in simply daydreaming about wealth. You must pair that vision with fearless movement toward it. For the remainder of your life, acting on your vision turns the unseen into the seen. Every great accomplishment in history began as nothing more than an idea in someone's mind. For the remainder of your life, but it became real because they dared to act when others hesitated. Your imagination shows you the treasure, but your courage to act is what digs it up. As you continue to imagine bigger, your life will naturally expand to match it. Each time you reach a milestone, your vision should grow again, setting your sights even higher for the remainder of your life. This constant evolution keeps you from stagnating and opens you to unlimited possibilities. The world will always reflect the size of your imagination. So if you want unlimited wealth for the remainder of your life, think boldly is the first spark of every great success, but without action, it remains only an unlit flame. Many people imagine a life they wish to live, but never move toward it, and so their dreams dissolve into regret. On the other side, there are those who act endlessly without direction, exhausting themselves yet going nowhere meaningful. Real power comes when bold thinking and decisive action join together, each feeding the other, creating unstoppable momentum toward your goals. When your vision is large, it challenges you to rise above hesitation and comfort. Big ideas demand big moves, and waiting for perfect conditions is an illusion. Every empire, every great achievement for the remainder of your life was built while uncertainty loomed. Those who dared to act despite not knowing the outcome are the ones history remembers. For the remainder of your life, the willingness to move before you feel fully prepared separates those who talk about wealth from those who create it. Acting boldly doesn't mean acting recklessly. For the remainder of your life, it means moving with intention and confidence, knowing why you're taking each step and trusting your vision enough to withstand setbacks. For the remainder of your life, every bold action teaches you something that standing still never could. The lessons learned from action refine your thinking, and the clarity from thinking strengthens your next action, forming a cycle of growth that builds momentum toward unlimited wealth. Courage is the bridge between vision and reality. Fear whispers reasons to stay still, to dull out, but every moment spent waiting costs you opportunities that will never return. When you act boldly for the remainder of your life, you break fear's grip and discover that most obstacles exist only in your imagination. Each fearless move you make builds faith in yourself, and that faith becomes the foundation on which all wealth is built. Over time, the union of bold thoughts and bold actions transforms you into someone unstoppable. For the remainder of your life, your ideas grow larger because your actions prove what is possible, and your actions grow bolder because your ideas stretch beyond previous limits. This is the secret rhythm of unlimited success. Think big enough to inspire yourself, and act big enough to make it real. For your present circumstances may seem unchangeable, but they are only a reflection of your past decisions, not a prophecy of your future. Many people make the mistake of believing where they are now is where they must always remain, trapping themselves in a cycle of limitation. The truth is, for the remainder of your life, no matter how humble or difficult your current situation, it holds no power to dictate where you can go. Every great transformation begins with the decision to see beyond the moment and refuse to let it define you. When you understand that your present does not control your destiny, you gain freedom over your own story. The person struggling today can be the same person celebrated tomorrow if they choose to think differently and act boldly. Every obstacle, every lack, every hardship can become fuel for ambition rather than a chain of defeat. The question is not what you have now, but what you are willing to believe you can create. It is easy to let our environment convince you of its limits. If you are surrounded by lack, negativity, or doubt, your mind will begin to mirror it. To escape this trap for the remainder of your life, you must hold tightly to your vision even when nothing around you supports it. For the remainder of your life, history's wealthiest and most successful individuals rose from circumstances far worse than their eventual achievements. What separated them was their refusal to accept their surroundings as permanent. Your future self is shaped not by your current resources, but by your current decisions. The actions you take today, no matter how small, create ripples that grow into waves over time. If you start where you are, with what you have, for the remainder of your life, and refuse to let present conditions weaken your belief, the path forward will reveal itself piece by piece. The most important step is to begin, even when you cannot see the entire road. One day, you will look back and realize that the very circumstances you once resented were the ones that forged your strength and hunger. For the remainder of your life, they were the test that prepared you for the wealth and freedom you now enjoy. Refuse to be defined by where you are today, because the place you stand is only temporary, but the person you're becoming has no limits. For the remainder of your life, the people you choose to surround yourself with will either limit you or elevate you. When you spend time with those who think small, their fears and doubts begin to seep into your own mind. They will tell your dreams are unrealistic, that success is for others, not for you. over time, for their limitations can become your own, shrinking your vision until you no longer believe in what is possible. But when you surround yourself with big thinkers, you inherit their courage and their belief in what can be achieved. Big thinkers do not see obstacles the same way most people do. Where others see problems, they see opportunities to grow and innovate. Their perspective challenges you to expand your own thinking, to push past the walls you once believed were immovable. For being around those who dream beyond the ordinary forces you to question why you ever settled for less. Their energy inspires action, and their success proves that greater possibilities exist. The company you keep will influence the standards you set for yourself. When you are among people who accept mediocrity, for the remainder are tempted to do the same. But when you are surrounded by those who strive for excellence, you naturally raise your own expectations. Success becomes less of a dream and more of a requirement when you see others achieving what you once thought was impossible. Their presence pushes you to rise. Choosing the right circle is not always comfortable. It may mean walking away from relationships that keep you stuck, from conversations that drain your ambition, from environments that celebrate complaining instead of progress. This requires courage, but it also clears space for connections that fuel your vision. For the remainder of your life, the right people not only believe in your dreams, they will challenge you to dream bigger and act faster than you thought you could. Over time, for the remainder of life, these relationships become the quiet force behind your success. They provide ideas when you are stuck, encouragement when you are doubtful, and accountability when you feel tempted to quit. Wealth and success rarely happen in isolation. They grow in environments where big ideas are shared and bold actions are celebrated. By surrounding yourself with big thinkers, you place yourself in the kind of atmosphere where unlimited wealth is not just possible, it becomes inevitable. The pursuit of unlimited wealth will always require a willingness to take risks that most people are too afraid to consider. Playing it safe may feel comfortable, but comfort never creates greatness. Those who follow only well-traveled paths end up where everyone else does, living lives of quiet limitation. To achieve more, for the remainder of our life, you must be willing to walk where others hesitate, to seize opportunities that look uncertain but hold extraordinary potential. The greatest rewards are always hidden behind the walls of fear that keep most people from even trying. Risk is not about recklessness, it is about calculated courage. It is the ability to look at an opportunity, understand the potential cost, and still move forward because you see the greater reward on the other side. For the remainder of your life, many of the most successful individuals in history built their fortunes on decisions that others doubted. For the remainder of your life, they were willing to be misunderstood and even criticized because they trusted the vision that others could not yet see. When you take risks that others avoid, for the remainder of your life, you position yourself in a place of rarity. Most people compete for the same safe opportunities, crowding the space and lowering the rewards. The remainder of your life. But those who venture beyond that comfort zone enter territory with less competition and greater potential. This is where breakthroughs happen, where innovation is born and fortunes are built. The fear of failure keeps most people small, yet failure itself is one of the greatest teachers on the path to success. Each risk you take, win or lose, provides experience and clarity that no classroom or book can offer. For the remainder of life, even when you stumble, you are farther ahead than those who never moved at all. Over time, for the remainder of your life, your willingness to risk becomes your greatest advantage because it allows you to learn faster, adapt quicker, and grow stronger than anyone who stays safe. As you continue to take bold risks, something profound begins to shift. Fear no longer controls you. Instead, it sharpens you. What once terrified you becomes normal, and what once seemed impossible becomes your new standard. This cycle of courage and growth propels you toward wealth that others will never touch. Not because they were incapable for the remainder of life, but because they were unwilling to risk what you dared to. Opportunities in life are fleeting, appearing for a moment and vanishing just as quickly. Those who hesitate, waiting for every detail to be perfect, often miss their chance entirely. For the remainder of life, success favors the person who can recognize an opening and act on it before fear or doubt takes hold. For the remainder of your life, wealth is not found by those who merely think about what could be done, but by those who step forward while others stand still. Every great fortune is built on moments seized quickly and decisions made boldly. Decisiveness is the habit of trusting yourself enough to move forward without waiting for approval. When you overthink, you paralyze yourself, and while you hesitate, someone else steps in and claims the very reward you desired. The courage to decide, even in uncertainty, separates leaders from followers. It is not about always being right. It is a being willing to make a choice and adjust as you learn along the way. Speed does not mean carelessness. For the remainder of life, it means limiting unnecessary delay and acting on what you already know to be true. Most people waste years analyzing, doubting, or seeking guarantees that will never come. Those who achieved wealth understand that action creates clarity. By moving quickly, they gain feedback faster, learn faster, and succeed faster than those who wait for certainty. Every decisive action builds momentum, and momentum compounds. A single choice to act today sets off a chain reaction of opportunities that would have never appeared otherwise. Each step forward opens doors you could not see before moving. Over time, you train yourself to trust your instincts, to respond to opportunity rather than fear it, and to turn quick action into a natural reflex. When you live with speed and decisiveness, life begins to reward you in extraordinary ways. Doors open that remain shut to those who hesitate. Opportunities multiply because action attracts more opportunities. By trusting your vision and moving with courage, for the remainder of your life, you place yourself among the few who understand that wealth is never about waiting for the perfect moment. It is about creating it. For the remainder of your life is the unseen force that carries you through challenges when everything else tells you to quit. Without it, even the smallest obstacle feels insurmountable, but with it, the largest mountains seem conquerable. Faith allows you to keep moving forward when results have not yet appeared. When the world doubts you for the remainder of life, and when your own fears whisper that you will fail, it is this inner belief, stronger than any external circumstance, that separates those who stop from those who rise. Setbacks are inevitable on the path to wealth and success. They come as unexpected failures, losses, or delays, and they test the strength of your vision. The most people allow these moments to break them because they mistake a temporary defeat for permanent failure. But when faith is unshakable, you recognize that setbacks are not the end, they are part of the process. Each challenge carries a lesson that prepares you for the success waiting ahead. Doubt is the silent killer of dreams. It creeps in quietly for the remainder of your life, questioning your worth, your ability, and your vision until you begin to believe its lies. The more dreams have died in the mind than in reality because people gave up long before they truly failed. Faith shields you from this internal enemy, reminding you why you started and showing you that persistence is the real key to victory. Building this level of faith is not an accident. It comes from daily discipline. You strengthen it by focusing on your vision every day, by surrounding yourself with reminders of what is possible, and by celebrating every small win along the way. For the more you practice belief, the more natural it becomes, until no amount of doubt can shake you from your path. When your faith reaches this level, you become unstoppable. For the remainder, our challenges that once felt overwhelming now feel like opportunities to prove your strength. The fear of failure loses its grip, and you begin to trust that every step forward, no matter how difficult, moves you closer to the life you envisioned. It is this faith, unbroken by setbacks, for the remainder that turns impossible dreams into inevitable realities. Obstacles are often viewed as barriers meant to stop us, but in truth, they are invitations to rise higher. Every struggle carries within it the seeds of growth. For the remainder of your waiting, for those willing to endure and learn. The greatest fortunes in history were born not in comfort, but in challenge. When individuals transformed adversity into fuel for their vision. When you choose to see obstacles as stepping stones rather than walls, for the remainder of life, you unlock the ability to grow stronger with every difficulty you face. Every hardship teaches you something essential about the path you are on. The skills you develop while overcoming challenges. Resilience, creativity, persistence become the very tools that later sustain your success. Without these tests, for the remainder of your life, you would lack the strength required to handle greater opportunities. What feels like a setback today often turns out to be the exact preparation you needed for tomorrow's breakthrough. Obstacles also reveal the depth of your commitment. When the road becomes difficult, most people turn back, but those who press forward prove to themselves how badly they want their goals. This self-discovery fuels even greater determination. Each time you overcome something that once seemed impossible, your confidence expands, and what once intimidated you no longer holds power over you. The mindset you bring to obstacles determines the outcome. If you see them as signs you should quit, you will surrender too soon. But if you view them as part of the process, you gain patience and courage to keep moving. Success not come to those who avoid problems, but to those who learn how to transform problems into opportunities for growth and innovation. With time, for the remainder of your life, you begin to welcome challenges rather than fear them. You understand that every obstacle is shaping you into someone capable of handling the wealth and success you desire. The very struggles that once felt unbearable become the foundation of your strength and the proof that you can endure anything. By seeing obstacles as stepping stones, for the remainder of your life, you turn hardship into progress and position yourself to achieve what few others ever will. For the remainder of life, growth is not a one-time decision, but a lifelong commitment to becoming better every single day. The version of you that exists today may not have the skills, mindset, or discipline to handle the wealth and opportunities you seek. That is why personal evolution is essential. Each new level of success demands a stronger, wiser, for the remainder of your life, more resilient version of yourself, and only by constantly improving can you meet those demands without being overwhelmed by them. For remainder of life, the journey toward unlimited wealth is one of continuous learning. Every experience, good or bad, holds lessons that prepare you for what's next. By staying open to growth, you transform setbacks into education and victories into stepping stones for greater achievements. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop expanding. For the remainder, and stagnation is the enemy of both success and fulfillment. Constant growth also requires humility, the willingness to admit you do not yet know everything, and the courage to seek new knowledge and skills. For many people, believe fail because they believe their current abilities are enough, yet the world keeps evolving. Those who adapt and expand themselves rise with these changes, while those who remain fixed in old ways are left behind. Commitment to growth extends beyond knowledge. It shapes your character. As you strive to improve, you develop patience. Remainder of your life, discipline and resilience. These prepare you to manage wealth with wisdom rather than recklessness, ensuring that success is not only achieved but also sustained. Without this inner growth, even great fortune can be lost quickly. In time, the process of growth becomes addictive. You begin to crave progress, not because you are dissatisfied, but because you see how much more you are capable of becoming. Every day offers a chance to refine your vision, sharpen your actions, and elevate your thinking. When you commit to this path, wealth is no longer a distant dream, but an inevitable result of the person you are becoming. True wealth is never built by focusing solely on what you can gain. It is built by discovering how much value you can create for others. For the remainder of life, the most enduring fortunes come from solving problems, fulfilling needs, and improving lives. When your vision serves more than yourself, it naturally grows beyond what you could achieve alone. People are drawn to those who uplift them, and opportunities multiply for those who make an impact beyond personal benefit. When you dedicate your efforts to helping others, you create trust and loyalty that no amount of money can buy. This trust becomes the foundation of lasting success, because wealth built on selfishness often collapses, while wealth built on service continues to grow. The more people your vision touches, the larger the opportunities it attracts. For the remainder of your life, serving others does not mean neglecting your own goals. It means aligning your goals with the betterment of those around you. A vision that lifts also gives you a deeper sense of purpose. Material success alone can feel empty, but knowing that your work changes lives fuels motivation that does not fade. For the remainder of your life, it pushes you to keep going when challenges rise because you understand your efforts impact more than just yourself. This higher purpose strengthens your resolve and keeps you focused even during the most difficult seasons. Serving others requires creativity and empathy. For the remainder of your life, you must learn to see the world through their eyes, understand their struggles, and discover ways to bring solutions. This perspective not only benefits those you help, but also sharpens your ability to innovate and adapt. The greatest business ideas, inventions of your life, and movements have always emerged from identifying what others need most and boldly stepping up to provide it. Over time, the wealth you create through service becomes more than financial. It is a legacy of impact that outlives you, remembered by the lives you touched and transformed. As you rise, you inspire others to rise as well, creating a ripple effect of growth and abundance. This is the secret of true success: lifting others as you climb ensures your own climb never ends. Discipline is the quiet force behind every lasting achievement. Without it, even the most brilliant ideas and ambitious plans dissolve into inconsistency. For the remainder of your life, wealth is not the result of a single action, but of repeated actions, day after day, guided by structure and persistence. For the remainder of those who fail to control their habits end up controlled by them, and scattered efforts always produce scattered results. For the remainder of your life, success demands that your daily choices align with the future you seek, no matter how small or unimportant those choices may seem in the moment. Habits are the building blocks of character and destiny. Every decision you make either strengthens or weakens the structure of your future. The habits of focus, discipline, and consistency separate those who talk about success from those who live it. Most people underestimate the power of routine for their life, yet it is routine that determines whether dreams remain ideas or become reality. Wealth follows predictable patterns, and the more disciplined you become, the more predictable your success becomes. Creating disciplined habits often begins with eliminating distractions. The world is filled with noise, temptations for the remainder of your life, and shortcuts that promise quick results but deliver long-term regret. By choosing structure over chaos and persistence over convenience, you create the foundation necessary for unlimited growth. Discipline is not about restricting freedom. It is about building the habits that grant you the freedom to live life on your own terms. The early stages of discipline are often the most challenging because results are not immediate. It is easy to grow impatient, to wonder if your effort is worth it for the remainder of life, but discipline pays interest over time, compounding in ways you cannot yet see. Each day you remain consistent. For the remainder of life, you build invisible momentum that will eventually surface as breakthroughs and opportunities others cannot understand. In the end, the discipline becomes less about force and more about identity. It ceases to feel like something you do and becomes a part of who you are. When your habits naturally align with your vision, success flows without constant struggle. This is the point where wealth stops feeling accidental and begins to feel inevitable. For the remainder of your life, the person you have become is capable of sustaining it.